One of the beautiful things about hip-hop is its versatility. It's a genre that you can basically fuse with any other genre in creative ways, and I'll always love that about it. With that being said, that can sometimes lead to some very bizarre crossovers and collaborations. Some good bizarre, and some bad bizarre. And before we get into it, I just posted my reactions to the first 3 Carter albums from Lil Wayne, completely uncut, over on my Patreon, with my reaction to the Carter one being free and available to everybody. The link is in the description below if you'd like to check that out. And so, ladies and gentlemen, join me today as I share with you a handful of the most bizarre hip-hop genre crossovers.
I'm proud of where I'm from, but not everything we've done.
Let's start off on the bad end of things. Accidental Racist. This song is so widely known as bad that my former therapist told me how bad this song was when I told him that talking about rap music was my job. Country and rap is often a tenuous mix in the first place, but even more so when the whole concept of the track is, hey bro, sorry I did something that you thought was racist. This Confederate flag shirt? No, it doesn't mean what you think it means.
When I put on that t-shirt, the only thing I meant to say is I'm a Skynyrd fan.
You know, if you just want to show that you're a Lynyrd Skynyrd fan, they have other shirts, Mr. Paisley. Clearly, you're aware of the perception of this flag and how it might make other people uncomfortable, but I guess just not wearing the shirt is too far-fetched. The Brad Paisley parts are hilarious enough, but then you have LL Cool J coming through and essentially saying that he will forgive slavery if white people just stop judging him for wearing gold chains.
If you don't judge my gold chains,
not everything we've done.
I'll forget the iron chains. If you don't judge my do-rag, I won't judge your red flag.
Absolutely incredible. I feel like these things are completely not the same, right? To be fair, it's the level of comedic blundering that you would expect from a track titled Accidental Racist. In its attempt to tell a both sides don't judge a book by its cover story, it ends up making a bunch of false equivalences and tries to walk a tightrope of keeping country fans happy and maybe validating opinions that some of them might have, while trying to appear understanding of racism. A tricky balance, it seems.
Just when you thought it was over, just when you thought we were done.
No, your eyes and ears are not deceiving you. A Ja Rule, Swizz Beatz, and Metallica collab does indeed exist. And it's as astoundingly ridiculous as you're thinking it might be. Ja Rule's Cookie Monster rock vocals have to be heard to be believed. From the second it starts and he just bursts into the track, it's just wow. And the combination of the 2 riffs that Swizz Beatz selected from Metallica for this track switch so jarringly between each other. This kind of feels like 2 songs jammed together because instrumentally, it is.
And I know y'all are saying, damn, he did it again. More than this.
Also, I can't be the only one that feels like the main guitar riff on this track has a similar rhythm to it as California Love, right? It's a weird similarity that I only really noticed when humming it out. And the worst thing about this one is it's kinda shit, but it's really catchy. I can't stop repeating, yeah, we did it. And just when you thought it was over, just when you thought we were done. It's bad, but it's mesmerizing, lingering in my brain like an evil curse. Now, I have yet to listen to Metallica's discography. When I do, it's something that I would like to do on camera for the first time, but this track dropped round about the time period of Saint Anger being made, which I am aware is very much not liked by Metallica fans on a general level, so yeah. The timing makes sense. But we haven't even talked about the best thing related to this track. It's the fact that right here on YouTube, there exists studio footage of the making of it.
Everybody's game for whatever you want to do.
Okay.
Let's just see what happens here.
That right there, you can play that in the party. I hear on that part something like, yeah, we did it. Yeah, we did it. You hear that on games, like a football team or somebody that's winning, you know what I'm saying? And yeah,
Positive. Yeah, that's cool, yeah.
yeah, we did it, you know.
Have the Lakers play this.
Yeah, yeah, we
one
did
is-
it
oh,
again.
so you got
Yeah,
international
it's the
battles.
Lakers.
We haven't heard it for a while. What does it sound like?
Who loves a little rock and roll mixed with a little bit of hip hop? So we do.
Which also reveals the hilarious fact that Ja Rule wasn't even the first artist considered for this track. Almost everybody wanted to put DMX on it at first.
And then give X a give verse. If James sings the chorus or not, whatever you guys want to do.
Who do you like the best?
DMX got that following that's heavy.
I know more DMX's shit.
Yeah.
And he's a little more,
Edgier.
also has a more presence in the rock world.
Yeah.
I love the sound of Ja Rule's voice, man.
But he got that from DMX.
I will say though, it is really fun to watch them making this, and they look like they were having a relatively good time putting all of this together. Like, it's a fun behind the scenes video to watch. I think the song is pretty awful, but the actual creation of it is pretty cool to see, even if it is hilarious.
Guess who came out of this? Work that wrist, can't do it like this.
If there is one person I trust to do genre crossovers, it's Danny Brown. They're weird, they're different, but my god can he work with any beat under the sun. Gentleman by Dorian Electra isn't necessarily the most unorthodox thing ever per se, but it is cool to hear Danny fitting so effortlessly over more hyperpop production.
Oh, lie. The way the doors open up like it got good manners. I'ma just put it on the floor. We'll let you know like I got all the answers.
Dorian Electra's music is interestingly weird from what I have heard, and interestingly weird is a perfect fit for Danny. It's been stuck in my head a lot. I actually really like this song. And then perhaps even more unorthodox is his barely audible feature on Fentanyl's Me and Mine. And honestly, the fact that you can't entirely make out what he's saying on this verse just works for me with this type of track. I wonder, I just got a new version of Vegas Pro and it has a bit crusher effect attached to it. I wonder if it can make my vocals sound kind of fentanyl-y here. I guess it's because I feel like it makes him blend into Fentanyl's style of music way better than if we all of a sudden got a super clean mix on Danny's verse alone. The fast-paced, chaotic nature of the beat is just perfect for Danny's almost cartoonish delivery style. And even when he's mixed quietly here, his voice is still present enough to just basically sound cool as fuck. It's one of the things that I've really come to appreciate about Danny over the years as he's grown on me as a rapper. No matter what the beat sounds like, he'll find a way to make it work.
Look who crawled out the slums, hood rich, but I'm playing modest. Stack that paper taller than Victor Wembanyama.
And on the opposite end of Danny Brown's adaptability, this is one that I'd consider to be a little bit on the weaker end of more electronic rap fusion tracks. Metamorphosis falls into the genre of drift funk, and the main issue with Benny on the remix here is that he really doesn't change anything about his rapping to fit the different style of production.
It's always one for the money, only cause I need it. Jumped on a jet, told the pilot, take me somewhere scenic.
It's just a couple of typical Benny verses with the exact same flow that he would use over a boom bap instrumental. You could probably cut out the acapella, put a boom bap beat under it, and it would sound like a perfect fit.
Yo, Look who crawled out the slums, hood rich, but I'm playing modest. Stack that paper taller than Victor Wembanyama. Rappers who love to hate me conflicted with paying homage.
And that's fine, there's not necessarily anything majorly wrong with that, but I think for me it just doesn't work because this kind of beat is so far on the other end of that spectrum from boom bap. And for me it just doesn't really work using the same flow over this beat. It sounds a little off to me. I love Benny the Butcher, but it seems like he's at his peak when he sticks to what he knows best, which is either boom bap production or the occasional dark hip-hop trap production to spice things up every now and then. Sometimes these odd pairings can be surprising and end up having good results, but this just isn't an example of that for me. It's not bad by any means, but I just listen to it and feel like, doesn't really do much for me.
I'm jumping out the window with this one, jumping out the window with this one.
Music really peaked with this right here. What do you know about Ether Boy? Ron Browse, the legendary producer of Nas's Ether, and perhaps even more famously, the creator of Pop Champagne, has another wonderfully out-of-key, horrendously warbly, auto-tune-laden track with Jumping Out the Window, complete with comedically cartoonish production.
We gon' party till it's the morning. The morning.
And what makes more sense than to follow that up with a pop-punk remix? Because I'm sure pop-punk fans were clamoring for a version of this song that would fit their playlists better. For what it's worth, it can definitely be said that this is a massive improvement over the original slipping on a banana peel, getting back up and then slipping over it again in an endless loop type beat that the original song had.
Hey yo, yeah, ain't gotta worry, Harlem World, man, I got this. Hit the studio, spit nothing but the hotness.
In a vacuum, this remix instrumental goes fairly hard. Complete it with a vocal contribution from Forever the Sickest Kids, then you have something special with this one.
I brought track 5 for the ladies in the backseat. Reach out front,
Thank you, Ron Browse, for inventing music and making this possible.
I kill off everything with this. So get you better be bringing this. Killing them cleverly, king and shit that is so real, I will never be dreaming this.
Tech9 has never been afraid to dabble in other genres, and Roadkill is an interesting one. I remember I used to really not care for this one when Tech's Special Effects album came out. This is the closing track on that album. The dubstep and rap fusion just wasn't really something I was interested in at the time. But listening back to it now, it's not amazing, but it does kind of slap, I think. I'm no dubstep connoisseur personally, but I think Tech9 manages to pull off this sound pretty well, and I hope that I haven't incorrectly classified this as dubstep, or else I'm sure there will be like one person telling me about it. He starts off the track demanding that he is given some energy, and that is absolutely what he gets from Excision with the surging instrumental that he raps over effortlessly.
I get the people involved. They put me deep in this ball. Wish I was reaching for peace, but I'm beefing with y'all. Breaking your teeth in your jaw.
The hook kind of slaps too. It's simple, but I haven't been able to get it out of my head since I revisited the song for this video.
Push, pull, kick, aim, squeeze, drill. Roadkill.
It is a little bit funny that we have a Tech9 dubstep fusion track with a music video sponsored by Monster Energy, but I think it works well enough now. It's not as good as Tech9's collab with Corey Taylor, Wither. I think that is a fantastic genre crossover, but this one, it works well enough. It's fine. It fits for the weirdness that Tech puts at the forefront of his music. Oh, System of a Down did a cover of a Wu-Tang Clan track. That sounds interesting. What could go wrong here? It's a cover of Shame on a... Oh. I wonder what Serge substituted that word with. Oh. Right then, the story goes that Serge, the frontman of System of a Down, was told by Wu-Tang to perform the song faithful to the original, N-words and all, with a lot of people saying Serge was unsure of it and a little bit uncomfortable with saying the word, but the Wu-Tang members essentially peer pressured him into it. And on the recording that we just heard, Serge went full steam ahead. That's at least what people say. I haven't been able to find a source to back this up, but that part of the cover aside, it's also kind of weird to hear ODB's verse from Shame in someone else's voice. I've listened to the original song like 1,000 times, but I didn't really notice how disgusting some of ODB's bars were until hearing them here in Serge's clearer enunciation.
Got burned once, but that was only gonorrhea. Dirty, I keep shit stinks in my drawer so I can get fuzzy funka for ya.
Okay, he's talking about walking around with shit-stained drawers. Oh, and also, this cover has an entirely new verse from RZA on it, so that's pretty cool. He sounds pretty great over this more metal instrumental.
Planets, don't get frantic, throw your hands up in the air, don't panic. Supreme arm, leg, arm, head. Wu-Tang Clan is tight as long dread.
Overall, it's a very bizarre track that I don't know entirely what to make of it, but it is certainly one that once you hear it, you don't forget about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I still have plenty of selections ready for a part 2 to this, so let me know if you would like to see that. I honestly have enough selections ready for multiple parts. Like, this could be a little mini series of its own. On the screen, I've left a video that you might like to check out and a link to my Patreon if you would like to go check out the exclusive content on there, which, like I said at the start, includes my uncut reactions to the first 3 Carter projects. So with that being said, much love to my channel members and Patreon supporters on the screen right there, with a special shout out to Henry Flores, I Am Regent, Lucas1123, and Neo Striker.